And welcome everyone to the third attempt at getting this off the ground for the Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 17 Spoilercast. As always, I'm Mitch. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at 692tweets and 692pics because I'm dropping that link tree. I don't like it. But if you want to go to the link tree, it's down in the description. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if Army remembers. And as always, I am joined by Sean.
Yeah, you can just join me on Instagram at Marvin__12. That's it. Short and sweet.
Cool. So, chapter 17 of The Mandalorian. I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed it.
It was a great start. It sets up. It gives you the catch up. You know, here has I been. You know, and then like where we're going. You know, type moments.
Now.
It's the elephant in the room, right?
No. I mean, I was going to go straight to what we just started with before in the lost tape. That's gone to the ether. But I decided no, just for my brain's sake, we'll go back to that later on.
Yeah.
I have one complaint with what they're doing.
Yes.
I don't want IG-88 back. I don't like it. It feels like it's a case of, hey, we've lost Cara Dune because Gina Carano isn't smart. She's incredibly dumb. So we need someone back. And it's like, who can we get back? We can make the droid come back. Let's make a plot. That's what it feels like to me. And I want him to stay. Like, stay gone. Just no.
Stay a statue, right?
Yeah. And don't do the whole thing of, if he comes back, he's not going to be the same one. I don't want that. I don't want that. Just keep him.
He needs a babysitter, though. You know.
He has 2 seasons, 2 seasons and 2 shows worth of babysitters. He can pawn that kid off to anyone. Doesn't need to be the robot that died 8 years ago. God knows the timeline of this show. I'm not even convinced that Favreau and Filoni know, to be honest.
Yeah, they had to do something. Yeah, I somewhat agree with you on that. I think it feels like a crutch to have that character come back. I mean, at the very least, it's not a living, breathing, you know, like a person or an alien that's coming back. It's a robot, so it's explainable in some way. But yeah, I think it does feel like a crutch a little bit to have that character back. But
yeah, so I think even like the whole it's a droid. It's like, yeah, but that's so lazy. So it's a droid. It doesn't matter if it comes back or not. It's like it does, because it's not just a robot. It's its own character. Star Wars treats droids as an entire race of their own. They are living, breathing things. They have personalities. They have memories. They have this and this. They make choices, you know. And, I don't know.
Some of them bad, some of them good.
Yeah. Some of them really good. And you get a statue.
I agree with you. I agree with you a little bit. I'm 50-50. Like, I did like the dynamic between the 2 characters. You know, I guess it's like, if it's not broken, don't fix it type situation where, you know, like.
Or if it is broken, don't fix it, like IG-88. In this case.
You're basically advocating not to bring a character back to life.
Yes. I like my things to matter.
Well, I mean, come on. It's a droid. Come on. It's something that is artificial. It's not like they're trying to bring back I don't know what living characters that were his partner and someone. You know, it's not a person that they're trying to bring back. It's a droid, and like
that is offensive to droids.
I'm sorry for any droids in the audience. I'm sorry for disparaging your race. You know, but
you right now, you are the guy in A New Hope who says we don't serve your kind here. That's exactly who you are. You are the space racist.
I'm sorry to all the PS5 sentient PS5s out there that are listening. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm 50-50.
I just feel the argument of, oh, but it's not alive is a bit of a cop out.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's not alive. I'm saying it's just. I mean, if you're gonna do something like that, this is probably the better character to do that with, versus just like, oh, I shot this guy full of holes and now he's alive somewhere, like Cobb Vance. That's gonna be a harder sell for me. That was more of a, wow, that's all. That guy got shot up. And to bring that character back.
Yeah, but did they show the body for Cobb?
I cannot remember.
I can't. To be fair, I can't remember a lot of that show, probably for a reason. But I don't remember seeing a body in that, which is fine. If no body, no death, right? Golden rule of TV. This man, because I'm gonna say he's a man, because he's a man. This man walked through lava and melted and died heroically. He has a statue.
He is partial set. That's partially made from him and partially made. But
let's not tarnish the legacy. And I think what it is as well is it feels really cartoony, and I don't want Filoni to go full Star Wars cartoon mode in these shows because he's got a good thing going. And
I say reserve judgment.
I absolutely reserve. I will judge it as a fool, but as of right now, I'm not a fan of the idea.
Yeah. Let's leave it.
No, I like the whole. If I had to, not so it's all negative on this one aspect of this show. This one small aspect. I like the fact that they brought him back online, and it wasn't the same one, right?
Yeah,
it was IG-88 everything after a certain point had been wiped. So like he's still trying to kill this kid. I appreciate that. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm alive again. Yay.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if that was like the big bad, one of the big bads of this show, and like he just escaped and trying to kill him? I think that would be funny.
I don't know how. Because that falls into the characters made a stupid decision. You're now paying for your own stupidity. Like you deserve everything that's going to happen because you were dumb. Like you didn't have to bring him back. It was dumb to even try. Now pay the price. No.
Well,
easily avoided.
I look at it this way. I think there's a reason why he's trying to do it. He's trying to, because like as far as he knows, Mandalore is unlivable. Gases can't move. You can't do anything.
But they wear helmets.
Helmets that expose the bottom of their chin.
Have you ever seen his chin stick out?
It's true, but there's a gap.
Also,
anyway,
they go flying at high altitudes. Not once did he pass out from the lack of oxygen at that speed. They're clearly sealed.
I say he's got a breather underneath there.
Exactly. He has to. It's obviously like not a hollow bottom to it, despite them always showing it being hollow.
So did they say Mandalore was like irradiated or something like that? Like where it's unlivable, or did they specify why it's unlivable? I can't remember.
I want to say Bo-Katan says like it's glassed or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got all this. She says it's poisoned and all this and that. I can't remember exactly
there wasn't
minutiae of what she says, but it's apparently inhabitable.
Inhospitable, that word, yes. I don't know. I see why he would try to do it. Like wouldn't you rather send a droid down there?
Yeah, but wouldn't you just get a random droid?
But he's a droid that he knows. You don't want to start getting people like I don't want a stranger accompanying me to a potentially hostile, uninhabitable planet.
If I was IG-88, I wouldn't want to get brought back to then just be like, go down here and potentially explode. Because God knows what's going on down here. You might, if you don't come back, I know I can't go down there. Like, cool, thanks, friend. Like, thanks, Jin.
I guess that's the reason why he tried to kill him. Maybe he was
exactly. He knew.
He's like, I knew you're accusing me.
when droids die and they go to droidy heaven, right? They can see that time is a flat construct, right? It's a flat circle. Right? It's all happening at once. When you die, you go into the network. You can see everything. You experience everything at once. He knows how it ends, so that's why he tried to kill the kid.
Side note:
I can't blame him.
Wouldn't this be a great if that was the plot of the Taika Star Wars show or movie?
What all droids go to heaven? It's just the Matrix.
It would be on brand for him, But yeah, I don't know, man. I think he's just trying to surround himself with a little bit more familiar. Like I don't think I would trust a person.
I don't think that's him being a very good friend. To be honest, I think Jin's being a bad person right now.
He's trying to be God and try to bring back, And Grief knew this. He's like, no, I don't want to do this. I want to keep him a statue. Why would I want to do that?
And Babu Frick knows it as well. He's like, no, if I bring this guy back, he's done.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. I feel like Mando, even just from episode, I feel like he's caught between two. He doesn't seem like he has too many friends in the galaxy right now, and
no, because every time they die, he tries to bring them back and send them to inhospitable planets. Like, of course, he's not got any friends. Like, he feels nice to people. He might have friends.
He's nice to a baby Yoda type character, but not
exactly. He's only nice to a small child.
He's a good father, but lousy. Good father, lousy friend. That's all I can say.
Some would argue a really bad dad, putting that kid in the situation he does. It's not great parenting.
Leaving his kid with complete total strangers, bringing him into laser fights. Yeah, I would agree.
Now, how in those supposed I say supposed 2 years, like people are up in arms about the timeline of this show, and just looking at how different the spaceport is. Obviously, time has passed. They can't just snap their fingers and all this has come out. Like, it's been a couple of years. Relax.
I think
people do it for the Marvel movies all the time, and no one bats an eye. It's like, cool, this movie takes place in this year, like, because it's obviously this much amount of time since that movie came out. Like, just do it for Star Wars. It's fine.
I say, take it easy, people. People, things will be explained to you in time. Be patience is a virtue.
No one cared that there's like a couple of years between the original trilogy movies.
No one cared about the sequel trilogies. I don't know. I think I accept it. Fine.
I say I'm totally fine with it. Yeah.
Obviously, things have gotten better for that spaceport. So.
Oh yeah, stuff's thriving, man. It looks nice there. He has little droids to hold his cape as he walks along. Like, man's doing good.
He's come up. He's moving on up, so to speak.
Yeah. I just hope the cape droids are being paid, because that won't be nice if they're not.
Yeah, that's
droids have got to make a living too.
Droids have rights too. Okay.
If there's ever a droid revolution, I'm on side with the droids. Everyone deserves what's coming to them.
Yeah, everybody's bad to those poor little droids, especially the ones that are ugly, like the gonk droids and stuff like that. No one cares about those things.
Even more reason to rise up, right? Like, respect the gonk. Right?
Yeah. But
the fact that all it can say is gonk. I love that thing so much. Gonk. It's so funny.
How did you like the flashback? Or was it a flashback?
The flashback?
Not a flashback. I mean the ritual with the.
Where they put the new Foundling? She's made the helmet for it.
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest. Until Mando shows up, I thought that was a flashback.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool, she's making Vizsla's helmet, and then it's like, oh, Vizsla's standing right there. Like, when is this taking place? And then, of course, he flies in. I'm like, oh, it's current day. I see.
I'll be honest with you. I feel bad for that kid, because he should have cut his hair before they put that helmet on, because he's gonna have some long ass hair. Can't take the helmet off.
Well, you can take the helmet off, right? Just not in front of other people.
But how are you gonna cut your hair?
Or you take it off and buzz it.
That's true.
Get one of the many slave droids that apparently everyone in Star Wars has, because slavery's a thing. But it's fine. They don't breathe, they don't eat.
It's fine for the droids, but not fine for anybody else.
Yeah,
I
buzz it off and then put the helmet back on. That's fine.
Yeah, I love that scene though. Like that whole scene of them trying. Like the only thing I had a problem with like, well, why would you harpoon that thing, knowing that you're in the back of your mind, you're like, this is not gonna work. No matter.
This is why the Mandalorians are dying out, right? They're throwing spears at like 100-foot tall alligator monsters. Like they're not the brightest. They've lost the ways of their training and that.
That is the way.
Warriors.
That's the way, I guess. Even if the way gets them eaten by 10-foot alligator.
But, speaking of losing your way, Cara Dune's apparently gone.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to make anybody mad, but good riddance.
Look, at the end of the day, if you saying good riddance is going to make someone mad, that person deserves to be mad. If anyone's on Gina Carano's side, you either just stop, just go, just go. Leave the comment saying bye and like how woke anyone is, and just go, please.
Yeah, and then go attend your KKK right left wing meetings.
Yeah. But anyways, judging by how much her last movie made, there's not a lot of those people. So you might have 12 at most.
You gotta say they're very loud, but they're not physically, showing.
No.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. The character did nothing for me, anyways. It really didn't add anything.
It was. But part of me is like, is that because of her, or is that just because of the character itself? I'd be interested to see someone else in that role.
Yeah.
To actually, I've got no qualms against recasting. Part of me is like, can we get like a trans person in there just to, just rile people up?
Oh yeah, please, yes.
But then I'm like, is that not fair to the trans actor that would get it? But
you're just cast as vindictive.
Yeah.
I don't know. The character. I mean, again, never really.
No, the character. She didn't even really have a character. She was just there. She was fine. She didn't.
I mean, she was fine for the arc of the story that was needed to be told. But like after that, like it's just a character that they're naming. That you're familiar with. Like
nothing of value is currently lost.
No,
unless the only way for the show to lose value without Cara Dune is if we don't get the guy from Kim's Convenience. I can never remember his name. He played the pilot. It's just like if we don't get him again because of that, then we've lost something of value. But if he stays around, cool. In fact, let's bring him in. Bring Mr. Kim in. I need exactly. Just make this show Kim's Convenience in space. Just make it season 5 or whatever it was. Like it never happened.
Then you can bring in. You can bring in everybody from the show. So
get Simu. I'm sure Simu Liu would have to do a bit of Star Wars. I adored that show. I adored this show. To be fair, I really enjoyed this show. It's just nice to have good Star Wars, but like.
Yeah,
I've been starved of good Star Wars content for a couple of years.
You've been malnutritioned.
I'm wasting away.
I don't know. I still kind of. There were parts of Book of Boba Fett I liked.
I enjoyed Boba Fett for what it was. It gave me the baby rancor. That's fine. And that's
it actually paid off a moment, really. In a way.
Much more than Andor. I had to get it in there somewhere.
You had to get that dig in, didn't you?
Yeah.
Two totally
bad show, so it's totally fine. It deserved the dig.
Agree to disagree, but we'll save that for the season 2. Season 2 spoiler.
I mean, that might just be you by yourself.
I can get Jared.
I can go through that again.
I can get Jared. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to wax poetic about how great Andor is.
Yeah, you can go do that in the Nerd Academy. If you want to hear good stuff about Andor, go to Nerd Academy.
I don't know. I think this season is going to be really interesting. A lot of cameos in it. I'm not going to say what.
Cameos in a Dave Filoni produced show? Never. Let me sit down because I am shocked. Oh my god. I can't wait to see CGI Luke again for the 5th time. Oh.
CGI Luke.
I'm dunking on that, right? But I adore it. I know it's Filoniism and it's fun to.
Yeah. It's fun to poke the bear a little bit.
Yeah. I like what Filoni does, right? I like Clone Wars after the 3rd season. First 3 were garbage. After the back 4 seasons are fantastic, and it ends fantastically. But the man loves a cameo.
Yep, and a lot of setups too. He loves his setups.
No doubt. It's like, let's face it. I'm saying this to you. You probably know what it is. If I had to bet, right, we're gonna get what's his name? Is it Tamara Morrison? Not Tamara Morrison, is it? Guy who's Boba Fett in the Troopers.
Yeah, that's Tamara.
Is it Tamara Morrison? I said my brain told me it's that, and I didn't trust myself. I was like, no, that's yeah. We're gonna get Tamara Morrison as either Boba Fett or a clone or both.
Or both.
It just has to happen. Filoni likes that stuff. There's gonna be an Order 66 flashback. We know that because of the trailer. Or it might not be Order 66. It might be something. It could be like the Mandalorian Jedi War.
Order 67. You know, or it could be a flashback to the many civil wars that Mandalore had. You know, the many uprisings that planet has had.
You know, I'm expecting some other Mandalorian character cameos from Clone Wars and stuff. You know. You're gonna have to mention Darth Maul if you're going to Mandalore and all this stuff. Like, there's that. Probably get some of the armor from that time as well.
Well, I mean, if you look at the armor, you get an idea, right? She has the spikes on her head, so you know
she wasn't part of that. Oh, actually, no, yeah, no. So the armor, my brain thought you were talking about Bo-Katan for some reason.
No.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that's been a long-running theory since day one with this show, right? It's like, oh, cool, she's got the not Dothraki spikes, but the Dathomir people head spikes. Like, she's obviously one of them. Like, no, who else are you gonna get? You're gonna get Luke. You'll no doubt get Ahsoka to set up her show. Why wouldn't she be in this when her show's right around the corner?
Kind of a gimme at this point, you know.
Yeah. And hey, we've also got Swamp Thing in this show, so there's another cameo.
No.
Like, everyone thought we were going to get a Marvel and Star Wars cross. No, we got DC.
WB's like, I'll license my characters to anybody.
Either this or this is where Man Thing ran off to from the end of Werewolf by Night. He ended up being a space pirate. Like, wow.
He ended up on the set of Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah. That was a shock. It was not on my bingo card.
But I love Filoni because he's very fan servicey. You know, he likes to put his.
I like Filoni. I do feel like, especially now, Filoni's kind of like liking the smell of his own farts a little bit too much, and he's.
I mean,
maybe a bit too heavy. Maybe a bit too heavy on the fan service. Like, dial it back a little bit, and come on, like reel it back in. But.
Well, I mean, I think the show kind of lends itself to that, though, in a way.
I mean, it does, but I don't want this show.
You don't want it.
I don't want it to devolve into just fan service, right? And a lot of, Filoni stuff doesn't just do that. The Clone Wars didn't just devolve into. There was a lot of cameos, but it wasn't just a vehicle for fan service end.
Yeah.
So I've got a bit of faith in him there, especially with like Favreau next to him, like pulling him in the right direction. But
kind of nudging him every day, pushing him in that. Yeah.
But with how every season 1, 2 Book of Boba Fett, it's like it's. Oh, excuse me, that's the tea coming back up. Oh, doesn't taste nice the second time around. I tell you that now. But
acidy.
But there's going to be something or someone.
Of course.
No doubt. The odds are it's Luke or Ahsoka. It's one of the two. If I had to put money on it, I'd absolutely say that.
So good. Yeah, I would put more money on the latter.
Or hey, let's go wild and have it be Ezra Bridger. I almost said Miller. Then I didn't want to say that. I was like, the wrong person. Hey, let's bring in the Flash. Why not? You've already got something. Bring in the Flash. You can do whatever you want at this point.
Next is Batman. Robert Pattinson just shows up.
Exactly. Batman's kind of a Mandalorian.
Yeah, better Mandalorian than Batman. I don't know. I think I agree with you. I don't want it to be like a where's Waldo of a TV show where you're like, oh, there's that. But I mean, I think this might be a little bit less of that in this season. It's more sparse, but it's like sprinkled in there. I mean, you gotta admit though, you have to set up. You have to set up things. It's just that's how everything works now. Everything works to set up the next thing. That's just how it is now. So I would expect things that are like Ahsoka for sure. I would, only because the show, and she kind of fits in this, especially if they're going to do flashbacks, you can have her.
Yeah. I'm not going to be surprised if it's at least, if I had to, just money on table right now and pick one cameo, it would be Ahsoka and Sabine.
Sabine, yeah. Well, I mean, like, and it all kind of fits together in one because it's not like it's out of the ordinary. The two characters are together, like they have history. So,
hey, it's Mandalorians. There's Sabine. So Sabine and Bo-Katan together.
How many uprisings has Mandalorian had in the lifespan?
The question is, when wasn't there an uprising?
Yeah,
their entire culture is based around who holds a sparkly sword.
It's King of the Hill.
Someone drops that thing in the shower and there's an uprising. Like, come on, no.
It's King of the Hill type game where you're like.
It's the old Donald Blake Thor. Like, if he puts the stick down,
someone else.
If he loses that stick, Mjolnir goes. He's boned. He's back to being Donald Blake again.
But I would be more like it's probably gonna like I would. You might, yeah. I don't know what to say right now about like this things. But you could absolutely come out here and be like 100% they are showing up, and no one's gonna be surprising. Everyone's expecting cameos. Yeah. There's one cameo that I don't think people are gonna expect. We'll get to that.
I assume you're talking about Swamp Thing, and no one expects Swamp Thing to show up.
Well, of course, that's what I meant.
Which I will fully admit, that thing took me out of the show a little bit.
It was funny.
I was like, that is just Swamp Thing in space. How did you get away with that? How?
How did WB not get? At this point, I think WB is just licensing their stuff out to everybody. Anybody that can pay the licensing fee. Let's do it. Let's make a deal. That's how it works now over there. It was a good start. I think this is a good start.
It was a very good start. I had a slight panic because I saw someone on Twitter go, "Oh, I watched both episodes," and I was like, "There's two? No, where's my second one?" I was like, "Oh no, they sent out two for the media."
But like, I thought you were gonna go back to the whole timing of the episode thing by this episode. I was just like, I was waiting for you to say something like it's only 36 minutes.
I'll be honest, it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like 36 minutes, to be honest. It did not feel like it in the slightest. So it was slightly longer. It felt longer, but not like it was a dragging way. It just felt long, like it was longer. Yeah. But
there was more substance.
A lot does happen in this.
Yeah, and he visits I love that scene with him and Bo-Katan, where she just basically is giving up on life.
She's just chilling. What is it at the minute with people sitting on chairs in a really cool way?
Yeah, I think
she's literally doing what Kane does in Quantum Mania. It's just like, I'm gonna sit on my chair because I'm mad, I'm salty.
I'm emo at this point. She's super salty in that scene.
I can't blame her. No. not only is Mando out here keeping the saber to himself and not respecting the Mandalorian ways, respecting his own little culty ways. So he's keeping on to the dark saber, and he sends her out to, retake Mandalore, knowing full well no one's gonna give a damn.
Yeah, no one's gonna respect that. Yeah, that was I think the moment in season 2 when that happened, and the look on her face was like, oh, we're gonna eventually have to fight, right? We are gonna.
So we are not friends right now.
Yeah.
I am mad at you.
Him basically trying to give it to her, and she's like, no, that's not how it works. I'm gonna have to fight you for it.
I'm fully expecting all the big players we've had so far just scrapping for that in this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's the MacGuffin of the whole. I mean, basically at least 2 seasons, it's like the MacGuffin, and she has every right to be mad. She's out there fighting to get that sword, and he just kind of happenstance gets the sword by basically, and he in the back of his mind, I feel like he knew that was maybe not the right thing to do. Kind of screwed her over in a way, and he's not he's a guy caught between 2 worlds, right? He's caught between that side of the Mandalorians, and then also her side, the Night Owls. So
well, you could say he's caught between 3 because of Grogu.
Grogu.
At least in season 2 and Book of Boba Fett, he was caught between the 3 because you've got the 2 sides of the Mandalorians and then the Jedi on it.
Well, then he kind of fell out with the I forgot the side with the armorer, because of the fact he took off his helmet. She's like, you just
but she's still a factor in this, because obviously he goes to see her to restate that he's gonna go do this thing, because I found that quite funny. So Book of Boba Fett has the exact same scenes, different location, then we repeat it here. It's like you told us, but not everyone saw Boba Fett, so you got to restate it.
It's just like, I'm just reiterating the fact that I'm gonna go do this. Okay,
felt very cartoon-esque that point. It's like last time, or like the old 1940s.
Well,
last
I think
time,
this was more of a I'm gonna help you out and then tell you that basically blasted that that space alligator down, and thankfully she should be thanking him for coming around, because let's face it, they would have not. Her ranks would have been a lot lower.
See, this is why Mando's not smart. He's in fact the opposite smart. He's very dumb. He could have just let that alligator do its thing, eat all of them. All his problems would have been solved. Not all of them, but he would no longer be in the apostate. No one's gonna care. No one's gonna be around. He took his helmet off. No, it's fine.
I think in the back of his mind, he's trying to please everybody. In a way.
It's because he's drunk the Kool-Aid too much. He needs to take his helmet off.
Yeah,
he needs to touch some grass and breathe some air. That's what he needs to do.
I think the Night Owls got it right. Hey man, this helmet gets a little stinky. You have to wash it out a little bit.
Get that Pedro Pascal hair going on, because
and that pouty face. I love the pouty face. He doesn't between this and The Last of Us. I'm like, man, that guy's heart.
So you're getting your fill of old Pedro. He's very good actor.
I mean, you can never get enough of Pedro.
I know. No. But right, you can get enough of this episode though. So I'm gonna end this here because want to keep it to half an hour. So we'll catch everyone for next week for episode. Well, not episode 2, but chapter 18. We'll see how long I can keep that going for. Let us know what you thought down below, and we'll see you next time. So bye-bye.
Toodles.